Plaintiff Velicia says she and the defendant were friends and roommates, but she claims the defendant can't keep a job and she always relies on men to pay her bills. Velicia says the defendant badmouthed her on the internet, so she's suing for defamation of character, a lease termination fee, and an electric bill. Defendant Shannon Crowder says the only reason she's in court today is because Velicia's boyfriend is a freeloader, and Velicia is looking for someone to pay his way. Shannon claims Velicia's boyfriend practically lived with him, so she feels he should be held responsible for a portion of the expenses.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I would like to say first that the defendant, she cannot keep a job, pay her bills, and she's always relying on a man to pay her rent.
Your Honor, first of all, she's lying. We're here today, basically, it's not over money, it's over friendship. Her boyfriend is a freeloader and he expects women to take care of him, and she's looking for me to pay for his convenience.
Yeah, and she said you're the freeloader.
Correct.
And
That's
you're
incorrect.
looking for your boyfriend to take care of you.
Correct.
That
You
is
say
incorrect.
her boyfriend is a freeloader.
He is definitely
and
a
he's looking
freeloader.
for her
He has
to
no
take
car,
care.
no job.
All right.
But Your
Good
Honor, she
enough.
has no GED, no job,
right.
bad credit, Your
All
Honor.
right.
I went to beauty school. I do have a high school diploma. So
Okay.
what are you talking about?
Did you finish?
Yes,
Get
I
your
did.
license?
Yes, I did.
Good. How about yourself?
I work for an insurance company, Your Honor.
All right. So she's doing hair and you scamming.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I have
I
a
see where she
full-time
gets the
job right now.
scamming from, trying to scam extra money out of me, you know, for a light bill,
No,
electricity
sir,
bill.
Your Honor. No, sir.
Yes,
All
sir,
right.
I have evidence.
Let her finish and then I'll let
She
you.
is a complete liar.
All right.
She is a complete liar. This whole case.
I heard you, man. Let her
Okay.
talk.
Okay. Thank you, Your
And
Honor.
you ain't in beauty shop where y'all talk all the time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All y'all do is gossip.
I've known the
ahead.
defendant since we were a child. We grew up together. And I tried to help her, but she goes behind my
No.
back. She goes behind my back and defames me on Facebook, saying these slandering names about me that I'm
That's
hateful.
your defamation claim?
Correct. I'm hateful, deceitful. I have mental issues. I'm miserable. I'm
You
not
have
no
any
truth
evidence
one.
of that?
Yes, sir. I have the email right here, Your Honor.
Let me allow you to give your background and then we'll get to the specifics. Go ahead.
Okay, August 2009, me and the plaintiff had discussions about, well, she would call me and tell me that she would have, you know, disagreements with her boyfriend and money problems. And at that time, she knew that my lease at my apartment was going to be up in September. So, you know, she was asking me, well, you know, what do you think about us living together so I could save money? And me as a friend, I thought about it. I told her, well, I'm kind of skeptical about it because of her boyfriend. And she's like, oh, I'm done with him. You know, he's not going to have anything to do with this. And I said, well, it's not a problem, you know, if he comes over, but as long as if, you know, he's there, you're there, he has no keys to the place. She says, okay. So October we move in. October.
What's the agreement?
The agreement was I pay my half and she paid her
What was
half.
that? How
The
much?
rent, she said, was $795.
She said.
Correct. At that time, I didn't sign anything and I didn't see any document.
Did you ask?
I asked her. I asked her
you
how
didn't
much
check.
everything
okay,
was.
you asked, but you didn't check.
No, sir, because at that time we were good friends and I trusted her judgment.
Okay. What about the utilities?
Okay, as far as the utilities, you know, we would have paid half, being that both
Half
of us were
the
living there at
utilities.
first. And then
Okay.
Mouth came along, which is her boyfriend. He came along and basically February, the subject came up about the light bill. She told me it was $177 and I asked her, could I, you know, please see the bill so I could pay my part because it seemed kind of high. And she basically avoided saying she paid online. And I say, okay, well, you don't have a paper bill that I can see? She's like, she actually ignored me until the next day and saying, hey, demanding money out of me. Hey, Shannon, there has never been any problems.
Did you ever get the bill?
Never.
All right.
But I
So you
did.
were
She
trusting
did.
her
She
again?
did give me the information, the number to Duke Energy, and the account number.
And did you find out?
After we had our conversation, yes, and it was $115.
All right.
And prior to that, we had, you know, my mom
All right, let
came
me get
over.
back to her.
Okay.
Ma'am, you were referring to defamation. And ma'am, did you put some remarks on Facebook?
I admit I did. That was after she lied to me about the electricity bill, and basically still after lying, she didn't tell me why she lied, and I informed her, well, if you needed the extra money, all you could have done was ask me for it.
Does she have
And
major mental issues?
I think she
You
does.
think?
I think she does because I'm
You don't
simply
know for a
asking
fact.
her. No, I'm
You
asking.
stated it as a fact, and that's defamation. Next. half of a termination fee. What is that about?
That's the for the lease to break the lease for the
She
termination.
said she never signed the lease.
Correct. She didn't sign for the lease. I signed
Okay.
everything in my name for the lease.
And did you pay your half?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ma'am, the termination fee?
Like I said, the reason she wanted to terminate the lease was because of Mouth. He was complaining about
I
his
know, but
privacy.
did you agree to terminate it?
I told her, she told me it was going
Did
to be
you agree to
$1,100.
terminate it?
When she told me it was $1,100.
Good enough. That's all I want to know. Did you pay your half?
No.
Good
no.
enough. Now, the electric bill,
I stated to her that it was $175.
does she owe you half? That's what you're
Yes,
suing
she
for?
owes me half of the
Okay.
electric bill.
And you don't want to pay half because of why?
It was 3 residents in the home. I do have evidence
Who
of
was the
text
third
messages.
resident? Her
Mal.
boyfriend?
Yes.
So you wanted to be split 3 ways?
Correct.
Because he wasn't part of the agreement when you
He-
moved in?
he
Was he
was-
living there?
When we moved, not when we moved in, but late December, he was there quite often. And he was there when she was at work. He was, yes.
Did he move in or not?
He had clothes there. He didn't have anything but clothes.
Your Honor,
He
can I
was
say
there.
something?
My mother is a
Because
witness.
you sound
Can I say
shaky
something?
now about him
Right.
living there. Come on up, stand up.
He was living
She
there.
wanted to.
State your name.
Hey, my name Harold Easter.
All right.
She said she wanted to move out because she couldn't help. She wanted to terminate the lease because she
No,
didn't.
we're not talking about that anymore.
Oh.
We're done with that. We're talking about the light bill and whether you stayed there or not. Did
She-
you live there, sir?
No, sir. I have my own house. I just come. I can't come to my girlfriend's house.
He was my company.
I don't know
actually.
whether you can or not. You got to ask the people who live there.
I'm just saying what she's saying about me. I had my own house. You know.
Okay. Do you know that to be the case?
I know that there is a resident where he was, you know,
All right,
on
good
and
enough.
off.
Did you want to speak?
Yes,
Yes.
I do.
State your name.
I'm Janice Black. I'm her mother. First of all, Your Honor, I'd like to say that I'm a true fan of yours, and
Thank
we
you.
have a lot in common. I'm out of the Church of God in Christ, and I did not raise my daughter to be the way Velicia is indicating that she is. The reason why we're here is because Velicia decided to terminate the lease because of mouth conveniency.
But she agreed.
He-
She agreed.
No, she did not agree.
She just said she
it was
did.
a month.
Ma'am, have a seat. She
That
just
was
said
on
she
her-
did.
it was a month.
Have a seat, ma'am.
Can I-
She
Your
just
Honor.
said she did agree. Ma'am, what evidence do you have to prove that
Text.
he lived there?
Text messages.
All right.
This
Read the part that indicates he lived there.
the part of him living there. Well, let me see. Hold
That's
on.
what we're talking about.
Okay, well, she's basically stating to me, if that's the case, it should be split 6 ways, and that's what I pay my half for. When he's there, he's my company. That's how, like how you bring your mama and them over, because that's when you pay for your half for your company. And I
She
tell her,
says she brings her company over. She didn't say my company lived
and
there.
this is what I state: there
No,
are
I
3
want to hear the
residents.
part where she acknowledges that he lives there.
Okay.
Because I just heard her say, based on your text, that he's company, just like your mother and others are company.
Okay, well, I do have something here.
Yeah. You have your evidence that you want to show me regarding what is owed? You want to say something else, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia's it's basically, Mathis is the reason why my daughter and Felicia are not friends anymore. He ruined their relationship. Like I said, she wanted to do this because of Math, because he didn't have any privacy there.
She chose her man over her
yes,
girlfriend. What
And
else?
she disrespected me, and my husband came over. That's when I found out it was a problem about me washing my clothes. So she decides, like, well,
So you wash your clothes over there?
For food.
Right. I didn't have.
That was
I-
one-
I had-
That's a big part of the
Yeah.
utility bill.
No, it was only once a month.
It was only
Ma'am, do you have the evidence or not?
Judge Mathis, it was only once a month.
Read
Judge
to me.
Mathis.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, this is just a day, February 8th, random text. She says they want to be harassing Mouth because he walked around the neighborhood trying to kill time for my break. They wants to call for backup and
Ma'am, you
did.
going to read the part where it acknowledges that he lived there?
I mean, she's basically stating that he left the
basically.
house.
Read what implies that he lived there.
Okay. She says, how can you tell a don't belong over
All right.
here? I
got you. Defamation claim I'm granting to you, ma'am. She certainly defamed you. She said that's when I knew. She stated it as a fact. She said that's when I knew she had major mental issues. Then that's just what defamation is. You say something that you don't know to be right or wrong, or you say it intentionally knowing it's not right. You say it to someone else, in this case, everybody who reads this page, and it causes damage to her reputation. And that does. Everybody thinks she's crazy now. Also, the lease termination, you said yourself that you agreed to the lease termination.
That
and what
was only
folks
when
have
it was-
to, I understand, whatever the reason was, you agreed. And that's what folks have to look out for when they agree to move in with people and they don't know each other's character well enough to know what's going to happen down the line. With regard to the electric bill, you had to prove that he was a third tenant. As she said, your mother and them came over there. Your mother said she came over there and used electricity every month herself.
That was once
and
a
he
month.
says he was a guest like
wasn't
everybody
every
else.
month,
She
Your
says he
Honor.
was a guest. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,751. Have a
Thank
good
you, Your
day.
Honor.